We're doing the 12 o'clock and the 6 o'clock, right? You can see that. Very good view. 12 o'clock, we have a very good view. 6 o'clock, you can see the round knife. I'll see the round knife from you. Anything that will cut, some people use the same one to go to do both the 12 and the 6 and the connecting incision. You can do that as well.
The sickle.
The sickle. The nice thing again that I told you about the Colibri is when you're using the Colibri, you can just follow your own round knife, your own elevating knife, with the suction attached to it, right? With the section really close to the elevator. And then, 1 second, I just want to
also try to stay a little bit further away from the incision
with the camera. Yes, so we're going to do that. I was trying
now
to...
the new illumination allows you to do that.
So you can leave the camera a little bit further away.
Yeah.
And just move the suction, just advance the suction a little bit, basically.
Yeah.
Right? And what's nice about this, even if I didn't do a terrific injection, right? Let's say I didn't make a wonderful, wonderful injection, and you have a little bit of bleeding, because your suction is going to, because your suction is very, very close to the round knife, it doesn't bother you that much.
This here.
That there's malleus, right? Yeah. Right now I'm still elevating the vascular strip. Usually I'll start with the vascular strip, right? That's my goal. I usually elevate around 12 o'clock first. It's just easier. So you see, if I don't have the suction, you can almost see what the bleeding would be like, right?
Yeah.
If I move the suction away for a minute, you can see.
You can't really see if you're like maybe making a new plane or not properly
or if you're
getting
doing underlay or overlay, right?
Yeah.
We're always talking about doing an underlay technique. If you go right over the annulus because you missed it because of bleeding, then you can easily do an overlay, which is not what you intended to do, right? So this is where the suction really helps you. And I really find that the suction is very, very helpful. In this stage, I'll take the Bellucci. Okay, so we elevate it all the way down to the annulus, the bony annulus, right? You can start seeing the fibrous annulus right there.
Yep.
So 12 o'clock incision usually is a little harder to elevate completely, so you want the Bellucci to separate it. Now right? And so what you do is you push on the bone and away from it. You see that?
Yeah.
So my hand is anchored right now. If it was in the air, you'd see a little tremor no matter what I do. But the fact that it's anchored on the patient's skull, then you don't see my tremor, okay? Or anybody else's tremor. All right, so 6 o'clock, we're all the way down to the malleus. We're gonna see the malleus in just a minute. We're going to fold our flap away from us. That's the goal, right? Because we want to keep it as straight as possible. And then we're going to continue following this. So right now we're on the bone underneath the annulus, okay? That's why we're doing this, and we're calling this an underlay technique, right? Super. So we're going to follow this on the bone again and lift up the annulus along with the tympanic membrane. Let's follow this way, and now we can just turn our body a little bit and show ourselves 6 o'clock much, much better. And again, there are different instruments. Everybody uses whatever they really like, okay? Now, along with the annulus and the tympanomeatal flap, we're elevating a little bit of the middle ear mucosa, right? And at one point, when we want to go into the middle ear, we're just going to have to make a little hole. You see the hole?
I see it.
I made a tiny little hole already to put us into the middle ear, okay? Elevating more off the bone, okay, along with the annulus, and we want to try to make sure that we're elevating this all the way to anterior most point of the perforation, okay, so that we can see it in all of its grandeur. Because when you see it, you can repair it. If you don't see the whole thing, you're not going to be able to repair it. All right, annulus there. Next thing we really like to see. What do we like to see next? Tell me.
You're saying we want to see what structure next, you were saying?
So yeah, so what's the next structure I want to see? I'm asking you. I'm not telling you, I'm asking you. What's the next landmark? So we saw the annulus, right? We went underneath the annulus. And then what's the next thing we want to see?
Yeah, I will see not the chorda.
Yes, the chorda.
The chorda? Okay.
Yes, actually. Yes, the chorda.
I knew that we were going to see that next, but I was figuring you usually just say like, oh, that's the chorda, don't worry about that.
Right. So I don't cut the chorda so much. I know that some people do.
Yeah.
I do my best not to actually. And I have to say, even before the Colibri, with all endoscopic ear surgery, we've kind of like almost completely stopped cutting the cord. So I'm going again underneath the annulus towards 6 o'clock. Continuing the elevation so that we can see the anterior most part of this perforation.
There's this stapedialism right there.
Stapedial tendon. All the way down to the but this is actually all disconnected already. I'm lifting it up and cutting, okay? Lifting it up and cutting, okay? So now our tympanomeatal flap is completely off. This looks a little bit like a pyramid, which means it is the pyramidal eminence, right? Pyramidal eminence to stapes. Yes, very good. You see it? Facial's right? No. Facial's deep. Okay, you see, I'm going to have to slow deep to, right? Deep to the stapes, deep to the stapedial tendon, over the oval window. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Perfect. You see a little bit of betadine coming back because it went up towards the mastoid. What else can we show you here? Stapes right there in the oval window. Can you see that little arc? Look at me for a second. You see the arc going this way? That's the crura. No, up where my suction is and above. Right there. I don't want to touch it. So now I just want to see the whole flap. Okay, so I'm just going to straighten it out completely. And then plan where I'm going to actually put the graft. And then we're going to take a nice tour of the middle ear. which we always like to see. We've seen some of it already. We have not yet nicely palpated and seen the ossicular chain, but we'll do that in a second. I'll take the flap knife again. So you tend to push the flap medially no matter what you do. So before you start rebuilding, before you start you pull it out, you straighten it out, make sure that it's nice and straight, because you're going to want to drop it at the end. Exactly, you want to just drop it at the end.
Yeah.
What happened to your beautiful technique of the IOBAN? I love that technique. I started telling everyone that that's what you do, that you cover the Mayo with IOBAN, because
Yesterday after
it was so helpful. You know how good it was? Because there was no pieces of hair.
They do it with micro.
Don't tell me it's from there.
Okay.
They do it with the
Okay. But you know what? It was so helpful. I loved it because there were no pieces.
Yesterday oh my God.
It's just so nice because you don't get pieces in there.
And see.
Okay, so let's. So promontory right here, okay? Can you see it?
Yes.
The station tube all the way up there, you can see it at the corner there. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Super. Anterior rim of the perf, malleus. Incus is right underneath malleus, which is kind of weird, but it happens, right? And especially since he's had his chronic ear infections. We're looking towards the attic.
Okay.
We can see the facial nerve on the right end of the picture. Stapedial tendon right there. Stapes right here. It's a pretty good ear altogether. Round window is down here, but we can't see it. We're going to clean up. Okay? Stapes is moving for sure. You can see that, right? I cannot show you a beautiful round window reflex, but everything is mobile. It's just the stapes and the incus are almost like adhesed to each other. You see that? Right there. It's like they're almost glued to each other. But there is a little bit of adhesion of malleus to incus. And this friend of ours must be the chorda. 1 second. I'm just going to suction this open so that the patient has some ventilation pathway up here, right? We like ventilation pathways. Our goal in life is ventilation pathways. Okay, and now let's see if we can actually show. So you see that little tiny strand right there, right here? That is going anteriorly. This is going to have to be, that is right underneath. That's going to have to be the chorda. I don't want to dislocate his stapes. I'm trying to disconnect the malleus from the incus. That's what I'm trying to do. Thing is, they're all lying one on top of the other. You see that? Pass it over the malleus. All the way anterior if you can. I mean, you can always adjust later, right? Make sure it will completely cover the perforation. Pick, madame. Le pic. Alright, let's see if we didn't torment our flap too much.
The piece of gel over here to kind of let that sit down.
Yeah, I mean, once we lower down the flap, the tympanometer flap, it should cover it. I'll take an alligator and then the flap knife.
One thing you can be aware of, and I'm sure you are, is that the illumination, when you hold the device like that, the illumination is coming in from the right side.
From the right side?
Yeah, from the right side of the screen.
Okay, tell me about that.
So you'll notice that sometimes if you direct too much at the ear canal, you see some glare on the right side. Now, if you go a little bit, in this situation, if you rotate not rotate, but angulate the shaft more inferiorly, and you'll be able to shine more into the area you work.
So inferiorly, I still have to push the graft more towards the bottom. Can you see that? You can manipulate it a little bit through the perf. Usually it's better off if you put it in the right position before you lower down the flap. But it's not a mistake to do this, to move it a little bit after it's already inset. So we definitely put enough gel foam, right? Because we want it to be right up against the tympanic membrane or the tympanomeatal flap. I'm pushing on it down a little bit. Alright, so I think the only thing I still want to do, push that little tiny edge. 1 second. So as long as I'm not aiming it too much, because right there,
on the right side
yeah.
now.
So what am I supposed to do? Just point it?
Exactly.
Because we had that glare the other day actually. So that's good.
And it's not just about avoiding the glare. You want the illumination to get to the center there.
Right.
So you want to shine it. It's like imagine you're having a flashlight on from the right side, and you want it to shine there.
So you just reorient it.
Yeah, exactly. You're losing image quality if you're glaring down there, because this is light that creates a glare that offsets you.
Because it's bouncing
into the area of interest.
Because it's bouncing off of the wall.
Yeah, instead of getting there.
Instead of getting to where I want it.
Exactly.
Alrighty. I think I'm too close though. I mean, this is a much better view, right there.
You can actually go. Oh, yeah, that's it. Now you see what you see the edges completely. That's when you don't have the suction there.
You can advance it as far as you want. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I usually, the only reason I keep the suction on for the gel foam is that sometimes the gel foam sticks to the alligator.
You want to separate.
And I want to be able to push it off the alligator. And for that, I can use the back of the Colibri itself. I just find that it's nicer, more elegant to use the suction.